Hey guys, thanks for checking out the podcast. Before we get started, I want to remind you about the very cool bucket list trip I am doing in 2026, the Smitty Learns Irish podcast, where I'm going to do my bucket list, hike Ireland for a year, learn about Irish history, town by town, through the mouths of the pub owners and regulars. Because what's a better way to learn about something you love than to experience it yourself? Patreon.com/we the number 3 Smiths, only $3 a month, and thanks for checking it out. Talking about they're selling the house that I rent. The studio is in the basement, and I'm like, this fucking sucks. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know if they're going to honor the lease that we signed. We just signed a year extension last month, and so you just don't know what's gonna happen. How the fuck it's gonna work. You basically know or hear that we signed a lease legally. We have to stay here. But I've also heard that if people really want you out, fucking tough shit, you're gonna get out. So last week the house sold. Levi got a phone call. Levi's been dealing with him, and he's been a fucking champion because, man, that's the last thing I want to do. I'm not pleasant with these people because, as I'll allude to, it's a rental management company, and their business practices, by and large, are just, to me, shitty. The way they operate. I'm not going to get into slanderous details here, but you can just tell. And I'm like, it's better. Levi's way more political than I am. I have a tendency to burn bridges. But he's dealing with them. They sold last week. And what we heard, we're like, we don't know what's going to happen yet, but it's sold. Okay. That's the last thing we heard. Levi texts me couple days ago now, 2 days ago now, what the fuck? Yeah, Monday. And he's like, we might have a problem, or he called me. We might have a problem. Oh, what's that? The lease that we just signed on the portal site for the company that we rent through. He gets a fucking email. I get an email. You go on there, you do the thing, you click the thing. And I remember when I did it, I'm like, oh, I didn't get a confirmation. I want to go back on there and make sure I did it again. And I didn't take a fucking screenshot like I knew I should have. Because when I went in to do it again, and it still didn't give me confirmation. It clicks the button. Okay, you signed the lease, send it. And I did that twice. And I did that a week ago. I actually did it like 3 weeks after my brother. So Levi calls me and he goes, we have a problem, maybe? That the lease is no longer on this portal, this website for this company. The PDF file is not downloadable anymore. And I don't even know if it was a PDF. He goes, I was going to fucking get a PDF so I could download it and have a physical copy like I did last year. And only thing showing up is all of our maintenance requests. And it was on there before. This lease, the new lease, expiring in May of 2023. It was on there, but it's not now. The maintenance requests, the current lease, which ends as of this date in 9 days. Or the end of the month, essentially. I thought it was April 22nd, but it could be actually the end of May. The beginning of May, May 1. Anyway, the fucking point of the story is that lease, the new lease that we both signed, is nowhere to be found on the site. Levi called and sent the text messages and sent emails. Again, he is a champion for taking care of this because, again, I'm not nearly as political as he is. No return phone call, no nothing. And they're usually pretty prompt about, there's a maintenance request or something, and nothing. Not even a fucking text or anything. Not even a fuck you, And you're like, can you really get away with just fucking making this lease that we signed disappear? I think they could, you know? It's not like I have money for an attorney. So every day since Monday, Levi comes home for lunch or from work, and I'm like, anything from the anything? Nothing. Okay, we'll see what happens. He's like, I might go into the office. I'm like, well, good luck with that. Be cool. I can only assume one of the owners of the company, because he has the same name as them, stopped by today. And I'm down here in the fucking basement working. I got music going on. I can't hear shit when somebody's knocking, but I heard the dog bark. And I was like, oh, I wonder if somebody's here. I'm like, oh, it could be the mailman, UPS, who the fuck knows. So when I got up, I got laundry out of the dryer to take up to fold. And sure as shit, as I'm walking up the steps, meeting me at the door, somebody poking their head in, oh, hi, from the management company. Because there's a fuck ton of repairs that need to be done on this place. They're probably going to try to get it done before it sells. That's probably one of the caveats, because this place is fucked. Have fun with those fucking repairs. So the guy goes, oh, hey, I've been knocking. Do you mind if I put this siding in the garage? I'm like, as smartly as I could get away with. I'm like, oh, yes, of course. Because as I said in the last podcast about this topic, I don't give a fuck if I'm nice. I don't give a fuck. I don't plan on doing any like lawn work or raking or any of that shit at all. So smartly, I'm like, oh, of course, yes, go ahead. And he starts to like close the door and walk away. And as I'm walking up the fucking steps, and I'm like, in my head, I was just pissed because I don't want to get in an argument. I know where that leads for me. You know, it leads to really fucking seeing devastating things at the very least. And I'm like, I don't really want to get into this right now. And then I just couldn't help myself. Walking up the stairs with laundry, and I turned around. And I'm like, oh, both Levi and I tried to find the lease on the site, the new one that we just signed a month ago. And we just can't do it. And we can't get a return phone call. Do you think he could help us out? He's like, oh, you didn't play totally fucking stupid. And like I said, company namesake, I'm sure you're aware of what the fuck's going on. There's decisions being made. And, I'll get a hold of so-and-so in the office and see if we can figure this out. Okay, yeah, thanks, man. Just honestly, because this is what? 4 hours ago? Last time I talked to my brother, any word from so-and-so and these people? Nope, nothing yet. If these motherfuckers... I'll because again, I'm trying to avoid slanderous details here. Because if there's any legal action that me or my brother might take, I don't want to get into too many details. But do you really fucking think you can make a lease disappear like it didn't fucking exist? Because it was right after they had people come to look at this fucking place that they kind of put it up on the market. Like, almost like, oh, this place is so fucked up. I don't really know if I want to put the money into this place that it's going to take. Boom, it's on the market. So right after that, right around the time that they were putting it up on the market, I'm like, okay, well, I need to sign this lease because I hadn't signed it yet. But it was signed. Legally binding contract. At least that's what I assumed. Because again, I want to avoid slanderous details, but I will also do my very fucking best to drag any company over the coals for shitty business practices. I mean, that's just who I am anyway. I got way too much fuck you in me sometimes, and I have to really reel that back a lot of times because boy, oh boy, all I want to do is start tagging. And just, dude, where's my lease? Where's my lease? So I don't know what's going to happen. Again, I don't know what's going to happen. I got plans in the works, possibilities, kicking and screaming is the key phrase, I think, because that's kind of just the way I want to play it if I need to, Oh, really? Like, just short of getting fucking arrested. Like, how long can I reasonably stay here before they come yank me out of here physically or turn off the internets, or something. Fucking assholes. I honestly, I told myself I wasn't going to go off on like a vulgar rant. You got to be cool, Smitty. You got to be cool. But again, there's times to not be cool. It fucking really pisses me off, man. I'm just like, people really think that they can just totally disrupt and totally just fuck people over because there's a little bit of money or because that's the way you just do things or something like that. But there's people that will take, like, there's people that won't let it slide, okay? And I don't know how much I'm going to let it slide. It all depends on the outcome and what the fuck happens, but yeah, it's shitty. It's honestly, it's some of the shittiest fucking business practices. And when they come in the house with their smarmy fucking business smiles, smarmy. I did get pretty smarmy today with the guy. Oh yes, of course. You fucking cunts. Let's just move on. There's nothing else to talk about at this point. I don't know what else to say about this. We had a lease, we signed it. There's not a lease currently. Nobody's getting, all signs point north, that they're going to try to fuck us in our Smith butts. And I don't like that. I don't want anybody fucking us in our Smith butts. What the hell? Everything.